Which one do I choose to keep? My beautiful microlocks, or is it my uterus? This is a tough decision I had to make some months ago when I had complications to do with my uterus, and the doctor said that I had to have a hysterectomy, that is, removal of the uterus. The decision was tough because, at 43, I still needed my uterus with me, and I have two boys. Maybe I hoped I would get a baby girl, but the doctor said to be on the safe side, I had to remove my uterus. Welcome all in today's video. Please like, share, subscribe, and let us learn together. Now, my name is Fongogi, and some months back, okay, let's say a year back, I had complications and I had lost a lot of hair, and I was weak, I was pale, and I was bleeding a lot. Okay, I have shared that journey with you. I'll put a link in the description below to for you to see the videos that I have done about my health journey, okay, and my hair loss journey. Now, I want to share with you all what I struggled with when I had my uterus intact. Okay? Yeah, I want to share with you all what I struggled with, the struggles I went through, and everything. Okay, I have a I have some bullet points with me, right? So that I don't miss any point that I want to share with you. So, number one issue and struggle I had is anemia. And anemia was caused by bleeding, excess bleeding. Okay? Now, anemia caused my hair to thin. I had bald patches. A section of my scalp looked like here. No hair at all, right? And some of my microlocks, they were very thin and they just cut off, and I would find them in my bed everywhere. The other issue I struggled with was stress, because when you're bleeding, ladies, I know you can relate with what I'm saying. When you're bleeding, even the periods we have, the normal periods we have for 3 days, 4 days, they normally stress us. How about now that period extends for a week plus, okay? And it is heavy bleeding, like you wake up 3 times to change your pads, okay? Yeah, it is stressed me. And stress also causes hair loss. And now the stress caused me to be very weak. I became very weak, and I had no appetite. And anemia causes headaches. Anemia causes, fatigue, right? You become very pale. The skin turns and you're very pale, and your skin becomes rashy. You get some very, very many rashes on your skin, right? You try to do everything to your skin, nothing works. Okay? Now, the other thing I struggled with was stress that I caused my family and my two boys. The firstborn is big. He can understand what is going on. And he usually asked me many questions. Like, Mom, why are you like this? Why are you always weak? Why are you always lying on the couch? What's wrong with you? Can't you go to the doctor? Oh, and it was a very hard time for me, trying to make him understand that whatever I'm going through is temporary, and we will overcome it. It was hard. And he was about to do his high school exams, right? Yeah, he was in Form 4. And so he was understanding everything that I was going through. And it was very hard to make him understand, because I was also confused. I did not know exactly what was happening to me. And that is before I went for the checkups, right? I struggled a lot. And even when I remember that period, I I truly understand there's God in heaven. Yeah. Whatever you're going through, there's God in heaven, and you will overcome it, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. I get emotional when I talk about that journey because it was a journey I walked with my family only, right? They are the only people who knew the struggles I'm going through, right? Okay. So that I had fibroids. What fibroids caused are very severe back pains, right? I had a lot of back pains. I had a lot of abdominal pain, right? I would bloat. I felt like my stomach was full of gas all the time, even when I had not eaten anything. Okay, I felt pregnant. And by that time, okay, from then and even now, I've been single through. And so I was very sure. And because I was single, I was not using any family planning methods, right? So I was just natural, right? So when I started feeling like pregnancy, I knew there must be a problem somewhere in my health, right? But I was very confused. I did not know how and what I'll do. The other issue I was dealing with, I was very low financially, right? I did not have any job. Okay, before I got sick, I had opened an eatery, a small kiosk. I was making, githeri, tea, porridge, yeah, things like that. And when you're operating an eatery, it's a lot of work and waking up very early, sleeping late, preparing the foods, and you're working alone. So when I got sick, I had to close the eatery. And it had not established itself very well. So I had not employed anybody to help me. So I had to close that eatery and come back in the house, right? Now you get what I'm talking about. It was a struggle. And I thank God because joy comes in the morning, right? Yeah. Whatever you're going through, you will overcome. There's nothing hard with our God, right? He's very able. Okay. Now, now with the fibroids, they grew big and my stomach started, becoming large. I would have back pains. I would, I would, I would forget a lot, yeah, because of anemia. With the abdominal pains, they came like the pain that you normally have when you are about to give birth. Those contractions, they were very severe, right? And I had issues with my bladder. Later, when I went to the hospital, that is when I was made to understand by the doctor that the fibroid were growing very fast, that they put pressure on my bladder. So I could not hold urine. My urine would leak anytime. Now you know what I'm talking about, right? To the point I used to put diaper, right? Because of the shame that comes with that, right? The pregnancy signs were very severe. I would vomit and vomit. I would feel pain everywhere. I would crave eating clay every time, feeling I don't want this, I want that, right? So when I went for checkups, they said they must do an ultrasound, and after the ultrasound, they confirmed that I had very huge and massive fibroids, and they said they were growing very fast. So it was alarming, right? So they said they had to do a biopsy to determine if there was anything to do with some dangerous cells, right? And that's exactly what they did. And after the results of the biopsy, they determined that the only option I had was to remove my uterus. Now, you all understand what uterus means to us women, and the stories that comes with the removal of the uterus. When people, okay, my inner circle, there are some friends and my relatives, when they heard what the doctor said, they, some will give you their take, right? And it was hard to decide what to do. Some told me not to remove the uterus because it would cause me some more problems. Okay, some told me to go ahead and do it because cancer is even dangerous than keeping the uterus, right? And me having two boys, and their dad is nowhere around them to provide or take care of them, right? I had to make that decision. The decision to get my uterus removed. It was a tough one because you have ears, people talk, and their talk will get to you. And it was, and even online you get stories like when your uterus is removed, everything about you is done. They used to tell me, the people around me, people, friends maybe, they used to say that you will become like empty, like you'll never find love. They see it like you will become, you'll never be attractive, like you will go straight to menopause immediately after a uterus removal, right? So it was hard for me to make that decision. But I thank my mom and my sisters because they stood with me all through, and they told me if the doctor said that the only option you had was to remove the uterus, just do it, right? Because that doctor is there to help you and to help you make decisions. And that's exactly what I did. And what I did, I chose, my health. I chose loving my children all through instead of, succumbing to some other serious illnesses. I chose to keep my microlocks because they were in a very bad shape. I chose to stay a healthy life, right? Yeah. And at that age, I was 43, and I was hopeful that maybe, just maybe, I'd get a baby girl, right? I did not know how, but I was just trusting God. But we plan, but God establishes, right? Our plans are ours, not God's. God see our life in another perspective. We cannot comprehend what God plans and what He has, orchestrated our life and occasions and everything that happens in our lives, right? So, I surrendered and I told God, if this is what, everything that happens, there's nothing that surprises our God. He knows everything. And so I surrendered to Him. I told Him, if this is the option, then who am I? I will follow your trajectory. And I know that you'll lead me in the right direction for my good and the good of my two sons and the good of my family, right? So that's what I did exactly. And I went for the surgery, and here I am. Now, after all that, the uterus was removed. I can say that I am healed right now because my skin color is back to normal. My health is back to normal. I no longer, you know, struggle with all those symptoms that I had, those the bladder struggle was gone, right? No bloating, all those problems were gone. Now, the other thing that I'm very happy for choosing my hair, for choosing the removal of the uterus, right, is my hair, right? That is why I decided to do this video, because by me choosing to remove the uterus, I chose to keep my microlocks, because now, ladies and gentlemen, my hair is healthy. It has come back to its normal health, and every part of my body has changed, has transformed, okay, because of that decision I made, right? Now, as you can see, my hair is 7 years old, and it has gone a lot. it has many stories to tell, right? Now, look at the bald part that I had, the part that was empty completely. Now I have massive growth. My hair is very thick, right? Very strong and very healthy, right? Yeah, I love these babies very much because they are very strong and very healthy. Like now, I have some growths, and this part looks like a bush. It's very bushy, right? Because of that decision I made. It was not a good decision to people, okay? When you look in another perspective, it was not a good decision, but it has done me very many advantages, right? Because now my hair is back to its health, my hairline is back, right? My skin is back. I don't deal with all those stresses I had. I don't have stress right now, right? Right now I'm keeping myself busy. Yes, I can do the hard chores like bending and standing for a long time, and lifting heavy objects, because of the surgery. I am yet to get to that point of working hard, of doing hard chores, but for now I can do other chores and I have no stress, right? My children are happy. They're saying their mom is active. There's nothing that brings your children down, like seeing you lying in a couch or in bed. They are very devastated. They see like the world is crumbling, right? But now everything is okay. I am so much active. I have no stress. The only thing I'm dealing with is back pains, right? And I can say that they are severe, like they used to be. But that is something that the doctor told me. He told me that back pains will not go anytime soon, but I can manage them not by taking drugs or painkillers, but by doing the right chores, right? Avoiding to do the chores that will hurt my back. Okay, so that is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. Now, my family, I want you to talk to me in the comment section. Tell me, if you are in my situation, what decision would you have made, right? Considering that there are people who need you, considering that you have a very bright future, like you have very big dreams to succeed in this life, like you have very big dreams for your children and the life that you haven't lived yet, right? Please talk to me in the comment section. Let us discuss. Share your views. Tell me what you've struggled. Have you ever struggled with a decision, a hard decision, right? A decision like that everybody is trying to bring in their suggestions, right? With me, I have learned to go back to God. When decisions are hard, I pray a lot. And God will always show you the way. The Bible says that He always shows us a way of escape, right? That is our God. And when you trust what He has said, everything will come to the truth of His word, right? Yeah. When you are in that quagmire of a hard decision to make, seek counsel from Him. Seek His advice. Talk to Him. We are very privileged because we can talk to Him one on one. We don't go through anybody to get to Him, right? You don't have to know somebody to get to your God, right? You go to Him direct and talk to Him honestly, like you're having a conversation, and He makes way. He will show you the way. If you surrender and tell Him, I don't know what to do now it's you. You are my guide. I trust in you fully. You are my guide. You are the foundation of this life. You are the foundation of everything that happens in my life. So I am trusting in you. And God now works like you can't imagine. Right? Thank you, family. I love you all. Please be sure to watch my next video when I'll be talking about the 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 real struggles of hair loss. I'll be talking to you about emotional struggles that you go through when losing hair, right? Yeah, and I love you all, my family, and thank you so much for keeping it here. Let us continue learning together, encouraging each other, and above all, encouraging each other through the word, because that is what we have, right? That is the only foundation we have with us, right? Thank you so much, and see you in my next video.